Here we are in the Highlands of Scotland. This is the walk into the property of the Ardvarki Estates, where Monarch of the Glen was filmed. So we're just exploring.
It looks almost like an East Tennessee style log home. And what I learned today was that driving on the left side of the road is not that complicated. What's complicated is driving on a 1.5 lane wide road with heavy traffic and stone walls on both sides and thousands of sheep jumping across the road.
Good grief.
Just a wee little embellishment. Thousands of sheep jumping across the road, huge logging trucks on your tail, which did happen once. And huge logging trucks facing you, which didn't happen, but it makes the story more interesting. But otherwise, driving on the left side road is a piece of cake.
But stressful for the person that's riding next to
Oh,
you.
yeah, the other thing was not knowing where the heck you are and trying to figure that out because your Google Maps doesn't work up here. Just think almost everything you see here is private, a private estate. Some of it's national park. There's a huge national park, but
We're outside of the national park.
yeah, we're not in the national park right now. So this is was their private lake and private beach to the estate. We think we have some pretty big trees in Anacortes. This one is up there pretty close to our biggest tree, Chimlock.
I can't get to the top.
But the estate here has a lot of old growth trees like that in it. And I hear
We're
the
still
chainsaw going right now.
making our way to the main castle. We've probably been walking a good 2.5, 3 miles. And we're still not there yet.
Okay, I'm going to start telling this story, and I'm going to show you the main house here on the property. Denise and I started watching a series on BBC called Monarch of the Glen. And we watched, it went on for 6 seasons, and really liked the show. So when we found out we were going to be in Scotland, and we wanted to take a trip to Highlands, we thought there would be no better place to go than where they filmed that movie. So I did some research and found out where the real place was, where the movie was, or where the TV show was filmed. And it was this private estate here in the Highlands that's enormous. If you've ever been to Biltmore House, you know what I'm talking about. And they have probably 10,000 acres to the property. So I wrote them and said, hey, could we couch surf and come and stay there? Which I got a resounding no. But they do have a little gate guardhouse that they said we could stay in, so I'll show that to you later. But I'm going to show you the house now. It's really a castle, as much as any house could be a castle. So it's owned by one family, and I've gone as far as I can go. As the sign says, it is a private residence. Our little Scottish car, we had to get a red one to match Denise's coat. Not really. And we're going to show you where we're staying here in the Highlands. This is the gate to that big mansion that you saw. And we're staying at the little hut where the gate person has to stay. We're going to have to sleep there in that little hut. So here's the drawbridge into the giant castle. And here's our little hut. I didn't think it was a hut. So they let us have the whole thing this week. It even got its own little turret. This is the Scottish Highland beach, which I never expected to see. It's the largest beach in the UK, and it's on this lake. Here in the Highlands, it's just sort of strange. The Highlands look beautiful today. But yeah, this is a huge beach. We had a beach like this in Anacortes, but this is all on this lake, Loch Lagan, which it looks small, but this lake is long and narrow. We walked 3 miles down the side yesterday, and I looked on the map, and that was less than a third of the way to the other end. So it's probably a good 10, 12 miles to the other end. It sort of curves through the mountains, and then there's a river that's supposed to be beautiful that connects it to another long lake. And on the other side of these mountains is the infamous or famous Loch Ness, where the Loch Ness monster supposedly lives. I don't think we'll have time to go over there because it's a long drive around the mountains to get there. You have to go up this valley, turn, and come down the other side of the mountains. It takes pretty much all day to get over there. Although as a crow flies, you could be there in an hour over those mountains right there. And see if I can spot the mysterious Denise. There she is. Hey Brian, I want you to name this mushroom. Actually, as you'll see, just a cluster of moss. The woods here are very much like in Anacortes. Matter of fact, we saw these Douglas fir and hemlock that looked just like ours, and they said they were transplanted from the U.S. Pacific Northwest to here in the 1800s. So they actually are the same trees. I'm going to do a panoramic, try to get a feeling. We're pretty remote on a little jeep trail in the Highlands of Scotland. A group of us came up today. This is one of the most remote areas in all of UK. We're with one of the locals who's describing that probably before 1700 there was 3,000 people who lived in this whole region, and now that has dropped down to no more than 200 because big landowners forced out the tenants so they could just graze more sheep and not have tenants on their land anymore. So they were all forced out to the industrialized London and Ireland and even overseas. So the exciting thing is this is all free land. You can come up and drive up on a Jeep and camp wherever you want to. There's no limits. Have the lake to yourself. And this time of year, being September, you probably would have a lake to yourself. We did see a mountain biker who's was on her way down, and she had her tents and things, so she came up all the way up this valley by herself and was camping. We're in a Land Rover. There's Denise.
Don't take a good camera.
neighbour and said, well, you know, we need to run power cables from here across your land. You know, with a view to paying for the inconvenience. And the neighbour came up with this ridiculous amount of money. And they went, you've got to be joking, sort of thing. And he went, no, that's what I want. And he knew he had them over a barrel.
Yeah.
You know. So they thought about it.
Okay, here is a little tour of our place.
So you enter in a turret, which is really over here. There's a staircase going up and going down.
Going down.
Going down is the kitchen.
These little narrow windows all the way down. Come to a hallway and a door. Go up a couple more steps. And then off to your right,
Our kitchen.
this very homey kitchen.
So this was built at the same time the big castle was, which was 1860. But they've got a lot of modern equipment. And behind Denise here, turn around.
I will, I'm getting there.
We never could figure out how to get the dishwasher open. And then we woke up this morning, it was freezing. It's been freezing all day. We didn't have the mechanic guy come and look and mess with the thermostat. This is actually the furnace. And in my process of trying to open it, I turned it off.
I have a nice little table here. It's just a very homey, cozy kitchen. I always picture a couple little kids sitting over here on this little heater, and then there's a little step in front of it. We're sitting there watching cook, bake, cleaning off the cookie dough. So pretty much down on this lower level is just the kitchen and
Oops, there we go.
a toilet.
A toilet with a
Little window to the outside, but no sink. You have to come in the kitchen to wash your hands. And then there's a door to the outside, to your
garden originally.
to your little backyard.
But there's no garden there now.
And
And
off
the
to the
river.
right is the river. So that's our yard. And we're gonna head back through the hallway, up the steps, to the main floor. The main floor, you come in the door, you still have to go up a couple steps. You come into the living room or sitting room, which was very comfortable. Nice little fireplace. Couple chairs over here. Couch here. And then this is the main bathroom.
And I just want to show you
Open
one
that
thing.
That only goes in. Oh.
That goes out too. I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's an electric shower. So something about my mentality says you never mix electricity and water, but what it does, it heats the water and pumps it into the shower. But I've never heard of electric shower.
And then we go up the turret to the upstairs. I counted, it's 19 steps to the upstairs. And here's the main bedroom. Very nice.
Looking out on the drawbridge that we're supposed to be guarding, actually today, I had to play that role. As two semis came with a huge electric generator and asked me where to put it. And they wouldn't take my word while they tried calling the main office. Here's another bedroom.
This is the second bedroom that no one has used. It's also just kind of cute.
And out the window.
Looks out to the river. And I think that concludes
That's our house in
Tour
the
of our
Scottish
house.
Highlands.